Hello guys, so today I'll be talking about how to use a graph editor in Blender. So a lot of you guys have been confused about a lot of options that are not available in graph editor or not been found able to find in graph editor. So today I'll be clearing out how to animate in Blender using graph editor. So first I'll be creating a panel over here. That will be my graph editor. So this is my graph editor and this is my timeline. So yeah. So for example, I have this ball rig over here. So I'll just hit key. So if you're getting this option, you can just click on keying, click on over here and do lock rod scale. So this way, if you press I, you won't be getting that pop-up option again and again. So I'll be moving to frame 20. So G, Y and hit key. So I'll hit auto key and this is my graph editor. So here you can see this is your graph editor in Blender. To zoom into it, you can zoom into it by pressing Control, squash, stretch the your graph editor and shift to move the graph editor. Control and middle mouse to squash it. So we have it framed over here. So now for example we have this graph. So which axis is this? To know the axis, we just click over here in this column over here. So once just you click, you get all your axis visible in the viewport. So now what we can do is, first of all, we have to normalize the graph. Now this is the original view, but we have to normalize. So if we click on normalize, now all the graph will be normalized according to the respectiveness. It's there in Maya. If someone wants to look up what is normalize, you can look up. It's an option that's there in Maya also. So what it does is it sets each and every graph to according to one particular fixed scaling. So it's good for the viewing. So if I have a graph that's moving in y-axis, you can see it's normalized. Both are the same and same height. But if I remove normalize, you can see it shows the original movement on the graph. If I hit normalize, it shows according to the center. It normalizes into the center. So I don't need the movement over here. So right now I have a pretty good curve of slow in slow. So what I can do over here is, for example, I can scale this by pressing S. So what it does is this. So this way you can set your graphs by scaling the handles. So you can scale the handles over here this way. So you can use different scaling method to scale the handle. So after you scale, you figure out that you are not able to reset your this. You can always reset by pressing G. So you can move a particular graph by pressing G. So you just select it and move it with the G. Select G. Select G. So you can always adjust the graph accordingly. So next is, if you hit T, you can get these options. So you can go to Bezier, you can go to linear, you can go to constant, you can go to Bezier. But if you go to Bezier, you can see it doesn't changes the actual graph. So for that you have to hit on V and set it to auto clamped. So it automatically sets everything to auto clamp. So if you set vector, it sets everything to vector. So auto clamped to make it automatically clamped. So this is over here. You can mute from here also. It's just basically like graph editor. If you want to isolate a particular graph, you can hit shift H. So you can see all of them are hidden. So you can manually, you can hide by clicking and dragging, or you can just hit select the graph you want to isolate and hit shift H. To remove it, you hit alt H. So it removes the hiding. Next up, we are going to talk about is locking. So you can lock a particular graph from over here. So this way it doesn't allow for editing any graphs. So you can lock it from this icon. Next up is modifiers. So for example, this is a movement. So I will set it to linear. So my movement will be linear. I'll be animating the ball with a bounce. So 1 to 20. So I'll be adjusting the graph. I'll be scaling this over here. I'll be scaling this over here. I'll be scaling this over here. So as you can see, I have a bounce, a single bounce. So what I'm going to show right now is how to add infinity to your current animation. So I'll just select this controller, I'll select this graph, I'll hit. When my mouse is in the viewport, if I hit N, it shows the tool panel over here. But if my mouse is on the graph editor, if you hit N, you get this values, that is F curve values. As you can see over here, if I select a particular F curve, it gives the value. So you can move the frame from over here. You can adjust the values over here. Because it's linear, it's not adjusting the value. So it's normalized, it's actually adjusting the value. You can't see it. Yeah, so it's adjusting the values. So I'll be setting it to 10, and if I select, it shows the selection. You can add, you can change the graph from here also. So it's up to you. Constant, linear, you can change it from here. So now I need to add infinity. So what you do is click on the modifier tab over here. Once you click on the modifier tab, you click on add modifier cycles, and then you click over here before cycle with offset and after cycle with repeat with offset. So here you can see now it's has a offset. You can add frame range, restrict to a particular frame range. So it's up to you till how many frames you want to restrict. You can use influence, how much influence you want to happen. You can even animate this influence. Right now you can't, maybe in future. So you go influence and then view. This is related with the cursor that you are using. So you can select a key, cursor from selected, and you can move your cursor to that key. So this is modifiers. You can even copy modifier. So I have added this cycle modifier. So I'll just copy it. I'll select this controller. I'll select my this graph over here. I'll paste it. So now you can see it has a paste with offset. So now you can see there's an infinity. You can even select it, use influence to reduce the influence, restrict range to add a restricted range. And once you have finalized that you want animation till 90 frames, this is your final animation and you want it till 90 frame, you just set the start end, you add for example 90 frame, 90. You change the start end and then you select it, you select both the curves, then you can switch to the dope sheet. And type bake. So you will get various bake option over here. So the bake option we are going to choose over here is bake action. So you set the start end frame to 90, add pause and hit OK. So now you have your animation baked. So if you check your graph editor, you can see all your animation is baked. So now you have a baked animation. So this was the longer method, so that I showed you through the longer method because I wanted to show you how. Just let me control Z this. Yeah, I just wanted to show you where actually the option is for this animation, so so that you can know that where this option is actually happening. So if I select, it's in modifier. You can do it manually by clicking on key, add a F-curve modifier, that is shift control M, and cycles. So it adds the cycle and then repeat with offset, repeat with offset. So this is to the shortcut. You can even do it over here, cycles. So you get a infinity looping animation. So this is the graph editor. Just go through each and everything over here select everything. There are a lot of options which are handily available, like key, Euler filter. You get a Euler filter over here, duplicate keyframe, paste keyframe, mirror. You can mirror animation over here, so that is also very useful. Snap, you can snap from here, so this is very handy. You jump to keyframe, paste keyframe, copy keyframe, duplicate, delete, handle type, interpolation type, erasing, decimate, allow changes, clean keyframe, clean channels, smooth keys, sample keys, bake curves. So yeah, you can bake the curves. So now you can see there is a baked curve. So this is something like you can't adjust, it's just baked into it. So be careful when you're using it. You can even turn off modifiers from over here. For example, this modifier, you can turn it off by clicking over here. So this modifier gets turned off. Only the first animation is played. So you can even turn off modifiers from here. So thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day.